Okay, welcome to Counter-Strike Casuals. This is a Counter-Strike podcast by two casual friends who've been playing Counter-Strike for a very long time. My name is Diz. I'm joined by Brly. We've been playing Counter-Strike, 15 years each, so combined 30 years.
Yeah.
We'd like to play more than we get time to play, but we can't. Family, kids, the usual stuff.
Decisions were made.
So some foolish decisions meant that we were not just playing ranked and face it with anime avatars and aggressive Eastern European blokes means that we were not able to climb the ranks we wished, but we still find time to play once a week.
Yeah, we show up. Yeah, we do our bit.
We do our bit. And actually recently I think we've been getting some wins as well, so I don't think we can complain too much. We're getting wins on actual ranked, not face it.
Yeah, we overperform, I would say. I say we're in over our heads.
And now we need to be humbled, so next time we play we're going to lose. But anyway, right, we're going to start this podcast, I think, by talking about CS2, right? This is where all the hypes come from. This is what's gotten us a bit more gassed, I think, to talk about Counter-Strike and also talk about why we like Counter-Strike. But CS2, I feel like it's re-sparked our love for it and what we're saying. Then how much Counter-Strike 2 have we been playing? Really?
0.
We've been playing none because
maybe we should have started this podcast like, I don't know, a year ago, when maybe Valve would have sent us a little invite.
Well, because we would have got all the hype and all the
yeah, because they're giving it out to broadcasters, streamers, the pros.
This actually isn't even just for us to try and do a podcast. This is just to get a Counter-Strike 2 key.
Yeah.
This is all this is for.
Yeah.
No, but what we excited for in this in CS2 then? What have you seen that you think? Yeah,
to be honest, we kind of discussed this when it first came out. I'm pretty excited at the fact that they're not doing too much, which sounds ridiculous. But
you can tell we're Counter-Strike players.
Yeah, we like it. We like it how it is. Don't change it.
Don't change too much. Yeah, just put 2 on the end. Don't even change anything.
Yeah. I'd be happy with that, to be fair. Then people can stop calling it an old game. But
yeah,
it's obviously doing well. I mean, they broke the record before they even announced anything, and nobody knew anything about the new game, and it was smashing it. It was 1.4 million players online. So it's clearly doing well. I don't feel like they needed to do this, but they kind of did at the same time. And yeah, I think they're doing all the right things, keeping it the same, bringing a lot of the maps over, making it visually a bit more appealing.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, isn't it? And I think that's going to be sick. I want to see the new maps. I want to play a map that feels sexified and lighter. And mate, I swear, how many times have you been on like Dust 2, look down B tunnels and just die? You don't see anything because it's just so dark. So I'm up for seeing like what's actually happening in those situations. I think the map when they first came out with it, I was just like, not sure it's that enough. It's not enough. But then the more I've seen of it, and then the more I play of CS:GO, I'm like, yeah, actually, it will be enough, because that's what you need. Just a little touch of glitter, glitter on the shit. It's working. Make it, make it sexier.
I mean, like they say, don't fix, something that doesn't need fixing.
I also do feel like the improvements to the graphics or the touch-ups is also going to, I don't know, it's going to bring back some of those people that were swayed by the...
I think a lot of people, like, they were just... you've got to be pretty serious about the competitive side of Counter-Strike. I mean, that's what it is, isn't it? It's not about the graphics. It's not about, it's a new game and it's the in thing. Because, most people playing COD because for those things, basically, it's the new game. Oh, it's the new COD. Let's come out again. Let's go and, bash this out, see what KD we can get. But yeah, we're not here to bash COD or anything. But Counter-Strike isn't about that. Counter-Strike's a different type of game. It's not. They don't need to appeal to to new players, but they kind of do at the same time. And I think,
or recapture the old ones. Recapture, because when we recently we right, okay, so how me and you met, I suppose, is playing Counter-Strike more recently in the last few years. We had a few friends that were well into Counter-Strike. Then when Valorant came out, they jumped ship to Valorant because Valorant looked fucking prettier / cartoonified,
I think
crisper.
that's a pretty good topic actually. Like the way we met was quite funny because we had mutual friends, and it's not through Counter-Strike really. It's through other aspects of our lives. But they played Counter-Strike casually, and me and you, before we knew each other, we took Counter-Strike fairly, not too serious, but more serious than our friends. And then I think we played a game together, and we were like, "Whoa, this guy's as good as me. I want to play more
Good.
CS.
Still not good.
Yeah, but better than our friends. Our friends were pretty bad, but
I think we wanted to take it seriously as well. We're like,
yeah, and then
we were concentrating
like,
on what was happening.
And it was just I'd been out the scene. I'd actually stopped playing Counter-Strike for a while, so I kind of lost touch with who was playing and I didn't even have a PC for a while. And then when I got a PC back, got everyone on Counter-Strike. I was like, let's play Counter-Strike, guys. And they were like, oh, my friend Dizzy loves playing Counter-Strike. You came on. And then, yeah, it just went from there, didn't it? It was like, do you like Counter-Strike? Oh, I like Counter-Strike. Oh, let's go.
Let's go, let's play, and let's take it fucking seriously to the point where
stop messing about. And here we are with a podcast called Counter-Strike Casuals.
We're still casual, but I feel like I'm always trying to elevate it above that, but failing miserably because we still only have 3 hours a week to play.
Yeah, I mean, considering our play time, I mean, we've discussed this in game. I don't think we've ever come across anyone that has our play time, unless they're cheating.
Right, so don't scan our computers. Just leave us alone. But anyway, go back to Counter-Strike 2. So, my point there was, so when we started playing together, we had friends who were playing and they were very into Counter-Strike and they were loving it. And, we're not going to name any names here, right? But they were very into it. And then Valorant came along and Valorant offered this new kind of, crisp, flashy, cartoony look on Counter-Strike. And me as a casual Counter-Strike player, I was like, okay, this is cool. I like this. The gunplay was good as well. I'm not going to lie. Hitting a head in Valorant feels fucking satisfying. It doesn't feel the same in Counter-Strike. I actually do think that's true. But a spray in Counter-Strike feels better than a spray in Valorant. If that makes sense. Like spraying down an M4 or an AK or whatever, CS feels better than spraying a gun in Valorant. But hitting a head in Valorant feels fucking good. But it looks like actually in CS2, they've made that kind of hit of a head feel really good from what I can see, just from watching these guys that actually are allowed to play it, who are popular in the world, like Shrouds and War Owls or whatever. When you hit a head, it looks fucking sick. But the maps in CS2 look good. They look cleaner, brighter, crisper, and I think it might end up capturing back some of our old friends that have ditched it for Valorant and passed.
I feel like a few people were saying, Valorant is the Counter-Strike killer, and it clearly wasn't the case. It's Counter-Strike still doing extremely well, and a lot of people were saying, Counter-Strike's dead. Even people involved in the scene, and it clearly isn't, and it wasn't even before this news was announced. I don't think. There's a lot of holes to pick out of it, and we could, judge Valve and other aspects of the community, but it has stood the test of time, and that's because it's just a brilliant game. Like,
it always stands the test of time.
Yeah, there's no two ways about it. It's a brilliant game, and people can, say, there is loads of things to pick out about it. And I think one major thing which I'm interested into how they're going to kind of cross this bridge with CS2 is the cheaters, which does concern me. But I think at our level now, it's not too much of an issue. We're not going to get them. We're trusted players. We play with trusted players, Prime and all that palaver. But the new players, like you're saying, our friends coming over to play, if they've not played before, the lower ranks, and they're not as trusted as we are, with as much play time or even history in the game. Are they going to come across cheaters? I've already heard rumours of cheaters being in CS2. I don't know
In
how true that
CS2?
is. Yeah, have you not seen the clip?
No,
I
that's
can't
fucking
remember.
mental.
There was a
I know
streamer guy.
I saw Tim the Tap Man, but I'm not listening to anything that geezer's
Yeah,
got to say.
I don't. You never know.
Although he plays with Shroud on that sometimes, but fuck me, he's probably my only reading of that situation is Tim the Tap Man even any good at fucking COD? The guy's dead, I think. I might be making that up. Like, I don't think he's that. He's just some like bald-headed American geezer that's.
But it still does, press the question:
Absolutely.
What are they doing? What are they doing to stop cheaters? Because I feel like I don't play much Valorant now, but I do feel like they've got a pretty good system in place. Why can't Valve get on that?
Mate, I think we're way too technical over my head, but Valorant have their own anti-cheat, don't they? Is it their own anti-cheat that you have to? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the anti-cheat, I think it's running. Yeah, while the game's on, I don't know why.
The thing with fucking Valorant is you can run and headshot, and it'll feel like it's a cheat. Anyway, I already feel like we've given too much airtime to Valorant, especially if some people will be listening to this thinking these guys love Valorant.
Yeah, well, little do they know I fucking despise the game.
And again, going back to CS2, so the maps.
Oh,
I think
wait! Before we change subject, did you hear about? I feel like some Valorant players, like pros, might come back over to CS and try it.
Like who?
What's his name? American guy. He's
Stewie.
quite big on Stewie. That's it.
Yeah, I did hear that.
He's mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know. Yeah, fine. Come back. You got to be fucking good to come back to CS now.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially North American players. Like Jesus.
And this is also the point with. I think again, knowledge might not be good at it, but CS to Valorant, the Valorant pro scene. I don't even know what is that. I don't know.
Fuck knows. Like I think it's.
Is there a game? Is there a thing?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But also talking about this, have you heard people mentioning the like a World Cup kind of Counter-Strike?
Yes, I like the idea of this. I would definitely. Okay, so as a casual player and watcher of Counter-Strike, and the way I watch Counter-Strike is when the majors are on or whatever, or that like Saturday, Sunday, got fucking wife and kid, we're chilling in the living room, daughter's running around making a noise, fucking up the room. But I put CS on in the background. It's like background viewing, basically. I kind of get away with it until my wife's like, "Why are we watching this shit?" Like, so what? You know, I think actually in her eyes it's better than football. So I'm like, okay, we'll watch some CS.
Really, you're winning there, mate.
Yeah, I know. It's not, well, both were bad to her. Both was shit, but I get away with it. And so if we had like a World Cup of Counter Strike, I feel like it'd be way more engaging. You could be like, well, England are about to play, France.
Yeah, I mean, they'd get absolutely destroyed, just like
England
football.
England about to play Denmark. We're about to get absolutely annihilated at CS. Imagine just Denmark, Russia. Who else would dominate in the World Cup of CS? Ukraine. Yeah. It'd just be.
That's what I was going to say as well. Like, who do you think would win? I think it's just going to be Russia and Ukraine, isn't it? I mean, we can't really have that, can we?
Well, yeah, the best players. There's some French players, no?
We could just...
some of the French, but Denmark, though, I would have thought Denmark just win.
Who else would do well? I mean, Europe, obviously, I think Denmark would...
I think it'd be Denmark would be up there, wouldn't they? They'd be like third.
French got some good players.
Some players. Got Zyro, they've got...
Kenny S.
Yeah, just Zyro's the only one that comes to my mind, but they've...
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean... Yeah, I think Denmark would pretty much walk it.
I would definitely be up for a CS World Cup. But the problem is, right, so we'll just... If I put CS on now, as a casual watcher and player of the game, it's just how fucking long it goes on. And, like, even... I watched Cloud9 at the weekend, and I keep forgetting who they're even playing. Was it Big?
They played Big.
Big.
They played
the first map they lost.
They played a few,
and then they won the next two, and the game went on for ages. The match went on for ages, and I'm like, oh my god. So this is the problem, yeah, with watching CS as a casual. I want to watch this stuff. It's the same way that, again, we're casual players. We haven't got all the time in the world. So when they introduced short matches, it was like a lifeline for us. No, I mean, how much more do we play since they introduced short games than long games? The commitment to a 45-minute to 55-minute game is mental. But I do feel like they need to change some things in the pro scene, which will make things a bit more like, sounds bad, but like gimmicky is not the right word, but like a bit more
engaging.
Yeah, exactly that. Which, like, if you have like a World Cup of Counter-Strike web, which I did hear they were talking about on some other podcasts, that'd be fun. I'd be up for that.
Yeah, I don't know how they would like incentivize it. I heard them mentioning, not doing it every year, which I 100% agree with. You can't do the World Cup, the Counter-Strike World Cup every year. Like, that would just be too much. But I think if they did it every 2 or 3 years, I think that could be something I'd get behind. And if the players were into it, which I think they would be, as long as they had a decent team. I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams like us, for example, we just wouldn't really give a shit.
Wouldn't have a team, would we? Who do we have?
Well, I'm sure there's some pros that we don't know about because we're just casuals. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be like, we're going to win it.
There's no one in the top 20. Hang on, I'll tell you now.
But you might get some massive upsets. You never know. Like, these guys don't play together. They're not going to really share tactics from their own team.
True.
Although I guess a lot of them do play together, like Navi. Yeah.
Well, there's the odd like full Danish, full German. Well, it wasn't big.
Very rare the full teams. But I think there could be some upsets, mate. Like, there's a lot of up and coming players at the minute. I feel like some of these good players are getting on a bit.
That's true. Well,
I do feel like, yeah. Well, I mean, for CS terms, not for us. Yeah. I mean, like,
how old Simple?
Carrigan.
How old is actually Simple?
Simple's got. I feel like Simple's been around.
Sometimes he looks about 40.
For a long time.
But he's going through a lot more than us. So
yeah, he had an uphill paper round. Yeah, I feel like Simple's been around forever.
I'm not sure, but
he's 25.
But no. So what I did want to say is, the one thing I saw, which again, just being interesting what's happening at the moment, is the situation in Counter-Strike with all these fucking top teams having no money. And that also leads on to, which links into what we've been saying, right? Which is CS to watch is a bit, don't know, sometimes it's like straining. The idea of these kind of gimmicky, casual competitions, I think would work really well. But, it's just mental. Like, no one's got any money in Counter-Strike, yet they're still paying some of these geezers like loads of money, which makes sense. I mean, they should be paid as well, because if I choose to switch on at the weekend a match between Cloud9 and Big over, let's say, Chelsea and whatever, Fulham, I don't know, the football games that are going on, but they should be paid well. I'm not the same, I guess, because there's not 30, 40, 50,000 people watching every single week. I get that, but where's the money in CS? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really understand what happens.
It's. I mean, there's loads of different aspects of it, isn't there? But I feel like they've not got like a home ground, a home stadium like most sports do. It's an esport at the end of the day, and I think all the money they get from their sponsors, that pretty much goes to the players, because they have
the coaches and
pay, they have to pay people good money, otherwise, they're not going to have a top team. I don't think there's a cap on wages or anything like that, is there?
Well, I can't imagine so. Are they getting paid like that much to be capped?
No, but if
How
the
much does
teams can't afford to pay them, you
Hmm.
know, how is the scene gonna progress? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna get bigger and better. I mean, the sponsors are insane for some of the teams. Like, you know, some of the sponsors that just get involved in Counter Strike is amazing.
Yeah,
But
actually is. I think that's
you
well. Why?
you were
Why
telling
do
me the
you?
other day Snoop Dogg's just dropped out of phase, so I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Well, Snoop Dogg was the director of FaZe. I didn't even realise, so I heard he left, and I was like, well, Jesus, well, fucking Snoop Doggy Dogg's just there. But I think he just went for a payday, from what I was reading. So I think he just joined, got given loads of stocks or shares in FaZe Clan. Then he went and did the Super Bowl halftime show and showed off a FaZe Clan like
Oh, did
medallion.
he?
Yeah, or like before like posted a picture of him showing a FaZe Clan thing. Got given loads of shares. Maybe that was around the time they floated on the stock market. Don't quote me on that. It could be completely wrong. And then like a year later, he's left. So it's just like weird bullshit publicity stuff. But just funny that, isn't it? Like, why is he even getting involved? But then I also always like tunnel vision think of CS or Counter Strike when I think about these organisations, but they're not, right. They've got League of Legends, COD, teams, like loads of stuff. They've got loads of.
Yeah, and I think you're probably more adept to talk about these kind of things because I am. You know, what I'm like. I'm Counter Strike through and through. I don't really play many other games. I dabble here and there, you know, with other games, but I always come back to CS, and I get such little time to game nowadays. I am just playing CS, and I'm not involved in many other games. And I'm aware that the teams, you know, all these gaming companies, they have other, you know, fingers in lots of pies. But
Yeah, but they've just got other teams, so they're gaming organisations, so they've got
yeah, how
teams.
do FaZe do in other
No
games? Do they
idea.
do
I know
well?
Astralis was struggling in a few things like League of Legends and stuff. But this is what I
And
can't
CS.
understand. So, yeah, well, Astralis have no money. We went to Copenhagen. You, me, and a good friend of ours went to Copenhagen to watch last Counter Strike tournament. I can't remember. Was it a major? I don't know.
No,
Went.
I think it might have been a major. I think if the prize fund's $1 million, then it's a major, right?
It was felt major, but that's because we went to Copenhagen to watch it live and had 20 billion
Yeah.
beers a day. But so, what is Shanice like on the verge of bankruptcy or something? That's dramatic. It
Well,
might not be true.
they were big. Like you could sense that over there. That Astralis were big. I mean,
Mate,
that
we went
the
into
shop they had
we
was
went into a
sick.
Shanice shop. They have their own
Yeah,
shop,
that shop,
like a
and it
fucking
was sick.
Manchester United shop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
and
mental.
yeah,
How they got no
and
money?
there was a lot of Astralis fans there, but have Heroic took a bit of their what do you call it? Their reign. Have
Right.
they took a bit of their hype off them? And also, they were paying their players a lot of money. I'm pretty sure their players were like amongst the highest paid. And I'm not talking about like Device and Dipri. A lot of them were in at the top 10, 20 paid. So they were paying a lot of money to their players. And to be fair, they deserved it. They were killing people. What was it 2016?
Yeah.
17?
Not long ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you okay, so there you go. Just FaZe Clan. So on Wikipedia, I mean that's we're a casual podcast. You can trust this. That's as good as fact. This, FaZe Clan have Call of Duty team, CS, PUBG, Rainbow Six, Halo Infinite, Valorant, Fortnite, Rocket League, Super Smash Brothers.
What?
The fuck? Is that even a? Is that an esport? It's not esport, is it? Anyway, but the point is, these guys have loads of people. So, like, fucking Snoop Dogg being a FaZe Clan director just means nothing, right? He's just there to be. Probably paid COD once. And bringing it right back, and I'm sorry to completely jump back. So, I've changed my position on Counter-Strike and the map thing. I've had another look. If you go on the Counter-Strike website, Counter-Strike 2 website, you can do the sliders. You should do the sliders where you look at the maps and looking at Nuke, Nuke in particular is a mental one. Look at Nuke, and you do the sliders from CS2 to CS:GO. You do it now, okay? That shit is just they've just turned the brightness up, and this like is it the saturation? They've changed the brightness, they've changed the colours of it. It looks no different, and for me, whilst I get it's exciting and it's a new platform and it's a new engine, the engine I think is the key thing because they can use that to build on and do updates and stuff. Fucking hell. It's no different. It just feels like they've
Mate, I completely disagree. I'm looking at the website now, and I'm like, I agreed with you when you first said it. I was like, yeah, I get that, and I do think it is a great excuse, not an excuse, but a great reasoning why people
look at Dust 2 long A doors. I'm sorry.
No,
that's mental.
Mate, I think once you're in game, you're going to be like, "Oh, okay, this is much better. It looks so much cleaner." Don't forget, it's the exact same. It's the exact same map. They're keeping things the same. They don't want to change it too much. But it's so much cleaner. But the angles are the same. You know, the graffiti.
Yeah, I agree. The angles and stuff should be the same, and I like the fact the smokes are a bit different. And there's some weird gameplay shit with the smokes. We can work that out, and I'm sure there'll be points where I'm pissed off that I forgot that you can clear a smoke with a
nade through it.
Yeah,
someone's gonna nade a smoke and shoot me through it, and I am gonna throw my mouse across the room.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like, fuck this, I want to play CS:GO. I get that, but when you actually look at the map stuff, I actually think that's quite disappointing. Not disappointing. I just think it is what it is. It's just they've just turned the brightness up. Yeah.
No, wait till you're in game. I can't
say anything because we don't have a key. Because no one give us a key. You and me have been loading the game every day to check.
No, but I do think when we're in game, the feel will be different. I do feel like that. I actually saw the other day though. Someone posted a screenshot of before and after. He changed his NVIDIA settings and basically made the game brighter on CS:GO. And there was a significant difference. He also had my AK skin, which is why I took extra notice to it. But yeah, he just made it look brighter. It did look a lot better, but I still think that they've made the game look a lot cleaner, more up to date. That's all they needed to do. You know, nobody's playing Counter-Strike for the graphics. Nobody really 100%. Cares. It's the gameplay. I think, you know, they've tried making these competitive games with, you know, extra cool graphics, making it more realistic and all this. And we're not here for that. We're here for the gameplay.
No, we're here for the game. We're here for the gunplay. We're here for the comfort, the warm embrace of Dust 2, which I think they should introduce back into the competitive.
Do you know what? A little bit of me is glad I don't have CS2 yet, because I would just be playing it constantly and I would get so bored of Dust 2. And I love Dust 2. It is the old school retro map, but I could not play it that much.
That's true. We can't have you fall out of love with Dust 2. That would be heartbreaking even for me to hear you diss on Dust 2. But you would want a CS2 key. But the other thing to say, so the warm embrace of these same maps, love that. Okay, fine. The movement's one thing I've heard very weird things about. That for me is weird. I think the movement, I'd want different maps, but I want movement and gunplay the same, right? It's almost I'd rather flip it over. I'd rather have a fucking completely different map, but the same exact gunplay and movement for me. So
I agree with that in a little bit. I agree with that a little bit. I think the maps, have to be the same. I think if they try to make a whole new game and make whole new maps, it'll end up like a Valorant situation where they're just making shit maps with like loads of weird angles and different heights and trying to do things too weird. These maps have been perfected over time. You know, the angles are perfect. You know, you can't peek one angle without being exposed from another angle, and you can't. You know, there's very few places that are just overpowered on Counter-Strike. It's not like COD where, you know, someone could just sit, camp out a room and just win the whole game.
Lay down.
Yeah.
I played COD the other day. People just lay down at the top of a stair.
Yeah, exactly.
And run in.
Yeah, I don't even have headshots. Like, you just spray them. Like, I'm like, the guy's just spraying the body, and people are like, yeah, so.
Yeah, of course, it's brilliant. You know.
Yeah. What about
little Timmy from down the road just fucked you up.
Yeah, some 12-year-old kids just making me rage. What about the new maps, or the old maps, I should say, that they're bringing back, like Italy? Italy looks pretty sick. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, well, Italy is very sick if only there wasn't hostages everywhere.
I was gonna say, how do you
I
feel
play
like
it.
if they started bringing hostage maps like into the competitive scene?
I'd watch it. Fuck it. I'd watch it.
Imagine winning a round by rescuing all the hostages.
Well, it'd be quicker, wouldn't it? You wouldn't save. Would you save on a hostage match?
Mate,
Why would you save? Because you just need to get a hostage. Oh, you still save for guns, I guess. But don't know. I'd watch it just to fucking mix it up.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I don't know if it would stick around. What is there any maps that you would like to see back?
I want to see Dust 2 back in the competitive pool because I feel like it's a fresh start. The thing I'm most excited about with CS2 is like a fresh start. Do ranks get reset? I'll have a reset rank.
Yeah, it's a whole new game. Twitch have got it as a new game. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I did actually because
Like,
I was watching. Was it the Geezer Pixel? Yeah, but it's a new game on Twitch. But is it gonna? We're gonna get brand new?
Yeah, it's not really a new game. Like, well, the movement's different, but I guess the general mechanics and even maps are the same. So it's not too different. I wonder if what team are going to do well. I was thinking, is it going to affect the pros, like the way they play it? And the one player that stood out to me was m0NESY because he loves exploiting
All the CS stuff.
yeah, the utility stuff, and I feel like he will be the one he needs some one way named after him, or some sort of weird play named after him. He seems like that guy.
You did it. You're playing it down, but when we played it ranked on Anubis, you did a little m0NESY.
Oh yes, I'm surprised they've not fixed that yet. Yeah, so
I don't even know
for
what it
those
is.
that don't know,
I don't actually know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, well, we are casuals, but I imagine for those that don't know, basically on B at Anubis, if you smoke the main entrance and then throw a HE nade through that smoke, when it explodes, if there's anyone around that vicinity of the HE, you will see a perfect outline of them through the smoke. And yeah, Diz is referring to the other day when I did it perfectly and just headshot a guy right through the smoke. He must have been raging.
Held down the sight.
But yeah, that's the type of thing, and you've seen the smoke he's done on Mirage in the window, which I've heard mixed reviews about. I've heard like people knew about it, but like people had discussed not to do it. Like, we just won't do this one
like
way.
A gentleman's agreement, and he's like,
yeah, because that happens quite often.
I think you should do that. Fuck that, man. This is what they're meant. They're competing for loads of money, man. Fuck them. Do it.
Yeah,
but talking to people and saying they're not going to do it. Of course you're going to do it.
There's a lot of things like that though in sports in general. Like, there's certain things you just don't do.
Yeah, like
and to be fair, I'm not calling m0NESY out.
What's the tennis thing? The underhand backhand thing. You know, that kind of underhand serve. That Kyrgios.
Mate, you're too middle class. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look it up. It's funny, and you would do it if you got a competitive edge. No, well. So we are excited about CS2. I'm gassed to start a new breath of fresh air live in CS2 when it comes out. I hope they reset the ranks and stuff, and we can just go again. And mate, I think we're going to push some high ranks. I'm being confident. I feel like
yeah.
I'm going to uninstall every other game, and then CS2 is going to take over when it comes out. Basically, is my plan.
Yeah, I mean, I want to take some time off work, but. Do you think, because apparently I've heard that they're going to release more access to people, they're going to release it slowly to more people.
Yeah, but we also did look at some of the people we were playing with in ranked games, even last night. So we're there playing in a ranked game, and fucking Geezer on the other side had 6,250 hours, and I think we've got 600 combined. So we're going to struggle, I think, to get on the old
Yeah, and I
old
guess
list if we didn't.
this won't reflect it either because now we're on a new game. So if we look at people's playtime, it's not going to reflect how long they've actually been playing CS:GO for.
What is in our past discrepancies in other games?
Yeah,
you
so
mean?
if you're like, oh, this guy's
Oh,
good,
they've
let's have a
got
look at his
like
playtime,
500
and it's
hours
like,
in Condition Zero.
yeah,
I don't mean anything.
yeah. So
Bring
it's
back
going to be
Condition
hard
Zero.
to.
Then just clean up.
Yeah, I feel like no one played Condition Zero apart from us.
Well, I'll put it out there. Condition Zero was the best version of Counter-Strike. It was better than
Oh,
1.6,
mate.
better than Source, and it is
What?
better than CS:GO.
That's a
Definitely.
statement. That is a
Condition
statement.
Zero was the
People are going to
ultimate.
attack you for that.
Come at me. It was the best one, and I'll challenge you at it and beat you. Right. So what else are we excited? So CS2 done. There's some competitions coming up. There's some fucking pro stuff coming up. What's going on this weekend? Go on.
I was just going to say, do you think teams are going to get more hyped or less hyped for the the remaining CS:GO tournaments? Are they going to be like, I want to win the last CS:GO tournament?
Interesting.
Or are they going to be like, I don't give a shit, this new game's coming out, I'm not that bothered?
Okay, well, I personally, and this sounds bad, and maybe this might be speak volumes of my character. My eyes would be on CS2 now. So
Really?
in my mind, I mean, you say that, but then it's still money at stake, isn't it? I mean, what's the prize at the next major? What's it like, 700 grand? I don't know. I'm making it up. How much?
A million. I think a major's a mil.
Is it? I thought the Grand Slam's a mil. That seems a lot. But either way, in my mind, I'm like already one eye's over there thinking about the next thing, and I need to be getting ready for that. But mate, again, it's a load of money, right? So when someone says, "Don't think," when your coach or whoever, I don't know how these things work with these guys, but if a coach comes up to me and said, "Don't think about that," you got a mil coming from the next competition. Focus on that. I go, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but also,
right, I'm a
like,
dickhead.
you might find, like, not you'd find it completely different, but you might find the movement, your movement's not as good in CS2 as it was in CS:GO. And then you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm not the player I was.
Yeah.
I can't do what I was doing before. I can't jump up to the boxes at Mirage, mid, whatever it's a win.
I can't do that anyway, but
the amount of times of just trying to jump up at Mirage window and just going, I missed it.
Yeah. Oh, that's me. Then it's just like, oh, I'll just save then. Who do you think's going to have a good year then this year? Do you think FaZe are back on it because they were on it and then they fell off and then they kind of got on it again?
Now FaZe are back, mate. Rops is fucking firing all cylinders. Carrigan's old as fuck, but still my dad. So he's just out. Carrigan's out here. For anyone that doesn't know, Carrigan is the best player of all time, the best in-game leader of all time, and mate, there's a reason why this 33-year-old Danish fat bloke is still out here leading one of the best teams in the world. Do you know what I mean? You can't deny it. So Carrigan's out here. He's ready to go.
I've told you, I know you love him, but he's cringe. He's cringe sometimes. The Batman mask is so cringy, but I do like him overall.
Mate, I'm not going to get into it. He's not cringe.
Cadian's better agile.
Right, this is a topic for another day. We're going to leave it there at that. We're not going to get into it. But yeah, I think FaZe is going to have a sick one. Twist is sick. Rops is sick. They're going to love it. They've got sick players, man. So FaZe will be up there. Who's actually number one ranked in the world at the moment? It's G2, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's G2. Mate, G2.
It's the Nico and Hunter thing going on.
I feel like it could be their time. Well, it's not. I mean, they had their little moment, but Nico. How old's Nico? He must be getting on a bit. They
26. According to HLTV. 26.
Yeah, I mean that's old. That's old for CS.
I know, but it's young to me and you.
Yeah, he feels like he's been around for a while as well. But
Jesus
I mean, Monacy's young. Monacy could help lift them up.
Well, interesting. So this weekend coming up is the Blast Paris Major. Like, I think it's qualifiers, right? I think that's what it is. So what? There's an A bracket and a B bracket for the European teams. So all these guys are going to be competing. So it'll be interesting to see who wins what. But I guess it will be the usual suspects, right? That kind of qualify. I think it's top 8 from each bracket. I could be wrong. Again, my knowledge of this is pretty poor, but I guess it will be like Navi, FaZe, fucking
Yeah. Well, FaZe have got
Fnatic, Cloud9.
OG. FaZe are playing OG tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm just looking at that. Who would you take out of them? Obviously, you're going to take FaZe.
Yeah, FaZe. I think. I mean, that's actually not the easiest, right? That's not the easiest first game, I don't think. To be fair,
but they're massively going to be favourites.
They are going to win. Yeah, that's interesting. Have you ever bet on Counter-Strike?
No. I mean, I'm big into the NBA, and I wouldn't bet on that. Like, it can go anyway. There's so many upsets. I think the same
with CS, right?
CS, yeah.
I don't mind a little dabble with some football and stuff once in a while, but I've never even thought to bet on Counter-Strike. Maybe I'll do it. Do you know what? Maybe I'm going to bet. So
you're going to bet on FaZe?
I'm going to bet.
You won't get great odds.
No, you can't bet on FaZe. I don't bet on my own football team because it's just not good if they lose. But maybe I'll bet on someone else then. Maybe bet on Heroic because I've got the Heroic T-shirt, but fuck Cadian. Do you know what I mean?
When we were at the tournament, you couldn't get were you after a Carrigan top?
Yeah, of course I was after a Carrigan top.
Didn't have them.
I would have paid double for a Carrigan top. But mate, I've never bet on Counter-Strike. I think I'm going to bet on Counter-Strike. The next time we do a podcast, between now and then, I'm going to bet on Counter-Strike. That's what's going to happen. That's my homework. I'm going to bet on Counter-Strike. I don't know what I'm going to bet on. I'm going to bet on some stuff, and I'm going to talk you through my bets next time we do this, and we can see how bad it's gone.
Okay, is there going to be any thought behind these bets, or are you just going to be like, because I'm looking at some of the games tomorrow, and I'll be completely honest, there's a lot of teams I know nothing about.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about them, get some advice from you.
And then there's CLG Red against Shimmer. No idea who those guys are.
Well, obviously Shimmer, we're going to win because why? No, there's going to be no thought, and what's going to probably happen is I won't be able to do a podcast again because I'd have betted my whole computer, my setup. The house is gone. My wife's on the streets.
I wouldn't put it past you either.
No, I'm joking. Right. So we're coming up to 45 minutes. So have we got anything else to talk about in this podcast? How are we feeling? I feel
like we've touched on a lot of things I wanted to touch on anyway. And I feel like we're at a good moment.
In Counter-Strike Casuals career, I agree with you. And I think we're at a very good point in our career. And I think it's fair to say between now and next time, I'm either going to be joining you because I've made loads of money on Counter-Strike betting, or that's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's over.
That's
over.
That was
podcast.
Yeah.
Right, so all your bets are basically that's our podcast. It's win or lose.
It's win or lose. And basically, somehow Carrigan will reign or be to blame in my bets. Yeah. That's how I feel. But all right. Well,
before we go, I just want to mention that wherever you're watching the podcast or listening to the podcast, you can get us on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to your podcast. We're going to try and get it out everywhere, right?
Yeah,
as many platforms as possible.
And we're going to try and get some video going at some point as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely sort that as soon as.
Love it. All right, mate. Nice one. Peace out.
Mate. Bye-bye.